everyone, it's Daphne from Scrap and Create, and today I'm going to share with you my newly completed 10.5 by 8.5 mini album featuring Ciao The Greatest Show. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So here's my cover. So I'm going to talk through some of the features here on the cover. So this is fussy cut from one of the pages. This is one of the cut aparts, which would be like a card topper. So it's a 4x6 card topper. Back here was one of the 12 by 12 sheets that I cut down just to use as a background mat here. This is from the A4 pack, which is predominantly cut aparts that you can use in the featured throughout. And here are two more examples of what came out of the A4. This is also an A4 cut apart. And then I just made these 3 ribbons myself out of the pattern paper. So I'm going to talk to you a little bit about what it took to make the whole album. This is another one of the cut aparts from the A4. So the album used 2 of the collection packs, 1 pattern pack, and then 1 A4 pack to complete the album. And I'll go over at the very end what was left over, which is not a lot, but I'll show it to you. So there's my cover. I wrapped my spine. It's a new technique that I'm trying, where I put tape on the entire back of this, and I'm trying to see, and this is the second one I've done, testing it to see if I can keep it from cracking on the designer papers here. And I'll keep you guys posted, but of course the alternative would be to cut it so that you've got some more space for movement directly on the spine and mat it. Okay, here's my inside. This is one of the cut aparts that I backed with cardstock that you can tuck photos behind. These are 2 of the cut aparts. And then this is another one of the cut aparts up here that I've left open-ended so you can tuck behind. And then these are 2 banners that I created just cutting some of the designer paper apart. I made 2 cards with these, so there's additional photo space inside and out. And they're just being held in place by these magnets. I was able to completely cover one side of all of the inserts and then only do a banner or a strip on the other side. Okay, that's page 1. Here's page 2, and this is probably one of my favorites. I love the clowns. So these both came from the 12 by 12 collection, and they were just cut down. So this, in the original package, these 2 are actually joined together on a 12 by 12, and it's just one large image. So I split it in half to share across 2 pages. And then I've added some embellishments here. Again, this is from the A4 pack. So is this. And then again from the A4 pack. And in the original, when I'm going through and building this, I can't remember if I put this strip in, but I'll try to point out in the walkthrough where I've added strips that I didn't cover as part of the initial build. I have to go back and look at this. I can't remember if I did that. No, I just added this feature. Okay, then we have another large photo mat. Okay, and here we have the trapezoid. So this was one image that I cut in half to make 2 flaps, left and right. Here are some more of those cut aparts. And I'm pretty sure all of these came from the A4, but I'm not sure. There were a few small cut aparts in the collection pack. And this opens up, and to the right, another cut apart. This one I also only adhered 3 of the 4 sides, so you've got a tuck spot behind here as well. Another large photo mat. Okay, and again, this is another image that was one image on the 12 by 12 that I split in half to share across 2 pages. If you go through the build process with me, when you get to page 6, I forgot to put my magnet in before I laid my mats down. So here's how I masked it. I've got a magnet behind these banners, and I have a magnet behind the popcorn. Now I wrote a note so that when you're building it, to remind you to go ahead and put your magnet in before you put your designer paper down. So there's a banner that's going to come across and remind you. But even if you forget, and this is true with any page, you can always come back and mask it one way or another. Sometimes it's harder than others, but it's possible. And I'm actually happy with this because this looked rather blank before. And I really intended for my top pages to be sort of feature pages that don't have photos, and the inside would have all the photos. So again, there's a magnet behind the popcorn and a magnet behind these 3 banners that I put in here. And I can't remember. No, I actually had to glue it all the way down because I didn't want the magnet to be exposed. And I also didn't want something you're tucking in to keep bumping into the magnet. Okay, and then over here are just a couple of the cut aparts from the A4 stacked as a feature. And I just wanted to offset this, so I needed something on the opposing corner. Okay, and here is the horse trainer. Another cut apart, and then these are just 2 small waterfall features. And when I was putting the waterfall down, I did not add this decorative strip. I came back and added a strip to each one of these with just some scraps that I had left over. As you can see, these pages are rather large, so you can get quite a few photos on them. Another large photo mat, not just the mats, but I mean, even in here, you could easily get 2 photos here. I believe this is 4.5 inches wide. So, and these are 4 by 6, so you could get quite a bit in here. Now this is probably 5 1/4 looking at these. Okay, and our last page looks just like page 1. We've featured 2 of the cut aparts, and they go up and down, and then inside I've also put 2 additional cards. And of course these cards could be featured anywhere in the collection. I've chose to put them here. And then I've got this cut apart here that I've left open-ended on both ends so you could tuck photos up and down. And again, this is a 4 by 6 card, so you can get photos on 2 of the inside flaps and 1 on the back, or do some journaling in one of those locations. So that is the Ciao Bella Greatest Show mini album, or not so mini album, 10.5 by 8.5. As usual with the walkthrough, I'm releasing all of the tutorials that go along with it. And if you go to the more description, you'll see the cut list. And if you go to our channel page and click playlist, you'll find all the tutorials for this co-located under the title Greatest Show. So please take a moment and go over to our playlist page, because it'll save you some time looking for things. So now I'm going to go over what's left. So I have this A4, which is actually slightly trimmed down. It's not a full A4. Here's scraps that I have left over, so I have quite a few strips, and I don't think I have anything. I think the widest I have is 6 inches. Let me check. Yeah, this is about 6 inches by 6 inches. So there's a couple that are a little bit longer, but as you can see, not a lot of scraps left over. And then I have these little smaller pieces. Some of them are designer paper, and some of them are the cut aparts that are left. That I wanted to save because I could use them as cards or in a smaller mini album. So there's quite a few of these. And the theme is a pretty strong theme, and it really reminds me of a kid's birthday party. It is circus. However, the only animals in the whole collection are the horses. So it's not your traditional elephants, you know, and horses and all that. So it's mostly jugglers. There's the ringleader, the trapeze. I'm saying that wrong, but I can't get it right this morning. And the high wire act and that kind of stuff. So it's more of the traditional, less the animals with the exception of the horses. So I think it would make a great birthday theme album. And I still think kids have circus parties. I'm not sure. Mine's a little old for that, but overall, I think it's really beautiful collection. I think you can definitely use it for a kid's party. That's what I had in mind. And then, of course, we still have circus here in California. It comes through occasionally. So I'm sure you guys do too. So anyways, thanks for tuning in. This is Daphne from Scrap and Create. And this is, again, our Ciao Bella Greatest Show. And please take a moment to like, share, and subscribe. We really appreciate it. And then don't forget, if you go over to our main channel page and click playlist, all of our tutorials are grouped by the title of the paper. so that you can quickly navigate all the tutorials that put this book together, including the base album. So take a moment to do that and get familiar with our channel page and our playlist, because there's a lot out there for you guys. We've got all different sizes and all different paper collections. The next album I'll be working on is going to be one of the newest collections coming out from Graphic 45, and I hope to have something out for you guys shortly. Again, this is Daphne from Scrap and Create. Thanks for tuning in.